Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler video series of videos I do for a little while now. I go over there, try out food and drink items. Eat stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that, time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, I got home from work and I had some leftover stuff and I figured perfect opportunity. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there and try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I am in my back room, which means you get Peter Can Thunderbolt poster over there. Whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm doing something else. What is it? I'm wearing a super cool shirt. And folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing for you today, folks? Well, it happens to be my Born of Osiris shirt, well, with the Darth Vader Pharaoh design. If you're unfamiliar with the band Born of Osiris, they've actually been around for quite a while. I was fortunate enough I got to see them perform live last year, kind of at the end of 2023, and it was really cool, man. Like, and it really went to show like how, as much as I love going to shows and as much as I love being part of kind of the local music scene, there's times when I'm just completely oblivious because I had no idea that they were an Illinois-based band. But yeah, they were spectacular. Did a show with the Browning and a few other local acts. Everybody was fantastic. I loved it a lot. So much so, I got some merch. I actually got this shirt completely on accident. Somebody went over there and dropped it in the parking lot after the show. And by the time I left, there was nobody else around. So it wasn't like I could, wave it around. But shirt of destiny. But anyway, I liked them so much, I actually got videos of their performance. Those videos are on this channel as well, just in case maybe you want to check them out. If nothing else, I'd be more than happy to point you in the right direction. Their music is badass. But anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? Why was it just a good opportunity to do a thing? Because, folks, I'm going to be reviewing, boom, French fries! But not just any French fries, folks. These are leftover French fries that I got yesterday. That isn't very interesting, but what I'm actually going to be reviewing and putting on them is, hopefully, boom, it's Heinz, but it's a limited edition Heinz. It is a limited edition Harissa flavored Aioli. Ooh, fancy schmancy. So let's go ahead, let's get a thing for the thing. It looks, is there going to be a good way to do this? Like, trying to get it where the light kind of catches it, and I don't know. And nuts to it. Ha 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 ha! But yeah, so Heinz just went over there and released a couple of new limited edition sauces. I have no idea what an aioli typically goes on, but I'm putting it on old French fries because I figure if it can make those good, we're in business. So, and yeah, I popped these in the microwave. This is also kind of my breakfast, which is a little sad. And these are brand new, so should be good. Let's open up the thing, get the thing off. I did not think to prep this. There you go. Come to Brandon. Let's try a little bit just by itself. Okay. That's got some doing to it. The thing that it sort of immediately reminds me of is the truff sauce, which is, it's a hot sauce that uses like truffle as part of the ingredients. I actually reviewed it about like 3 years ago, something like that. But yeah, it has a very sort of a savory kind of thing going with it. It's really interesting. But let's go ahead. I'm going to try just a little bit more. So I want to get more kind of on my... It's a very thick sauce. Like, it's very stable, so... Oh! That was a lot of sauce. I would not recommend doing that. Oh boy. That's got a lot of stuff going on in it. Now, I'll be honest, I am familiar with Harissa in theory. I'm almost certain I've had it in regards to things, but I would be lying if I said I'm any type of expert on it. I think, isn't it like it's like, well, they have like a chili on here, so I'm going to go and say it's a chili. But anyway, let's go ahead, let's try it on some French fries, see how it stacks up against these. To be fair, these are actually some pretty decent fries. I got them from a local place, but just couldn't quite finish the meal. Yeah, it's so thick. Like, you squirt it out, and it doesn't even want to, like, become like a glob. It just stays as an individual strand. All right. Loses. Actually surprised at how much that lost on the fry. Let's get in there and get some. Okay. Yeah, you gotta kind of slather it on a little bit. It has a lot of flavor, but it's kind of surprising when you put it with something else. You know, you think like ketchup, you know, it just works perfectly. With this, you got to really kind of get in there. But I think that might just be because of the consistency of it, because it's like a thicker sauce. You got to kind of get in there more to really get like a similar level of sauce. That's my theory. I mean, it's a really tasty sauce. Um, like I said, I mean, I'm familiar with the word aioli. I know I've had aioli on things, but I could not tell you the scientific nor culinary definition of it. But it's a really thick sauce. What is that flavor? I mean, I'm guessing that's like the harissa flavor, but there's kind of a delay on it. Like, it's flavorful from the get go, but then you sort of get a punch, like as it sort of makes its way, you know, along your taste buds. You really kind of get hit with it. Uh, about maybe 3/4 of the way through. It kind of goes to the back of your throat. It's not exactly spicy, but it's spiced. You know, it has a little bit of a kick to it. I'm trying to really kind of. Again, like I'm getting. It's. I mean, it's not that similar, but it's definitely pretty similar to kind of like the truff sauce, like kind of what it's going for, where it manages to be kind of tangy, a little bit spicy, but also very sort of earthy, you know, and savory. Like yeah, it's definitely like a chili sauce of sorts. Almost has like a mild fruitiness to it. It's really interesting. I will say there's an aspect to it that definitely makes it feel like Heinz too. Like, you know, Heinz obviously they make a million billion sauces and, you know, of varying varieties and stuff, but there definitely tends to be kind of a Heinz sort of blend to what they do. And this definitely kind of reminds me of like other Heinz products. Kind of thick, very stable, you know, obviously very processed. It's so weird. It's really interesting flavor. Um, yeah, it's one of those ones that I have to sort of sit with. But I mean, two questions have to be asked: would I get it again? Would I recommend it? Um, I'm gonna go with yes and yes, but this is one where I'm a little bit hesitant on because it's hard for me to even fully define it. But like again, it the closest thing I can say that it reminds me to is the truff sauce. It doesn't have the same level of heat. It doesn't have the same level of complexity, but there is a complex aspect to this. You know, like there's definitely something to it that, you know, it's not just a one-dimensional sauce. It's not just a ketchup. Uh, where would I use it though? That's the thing. I guess the answer would be basically anywhere that I used the truff sauce. And I did actually run through that relatively quickly. Like I really liked that stuff. It was fantastic. So I could imagine it being, you know, I mean, you could put it on pretty much anything, you know, burgers, hot dogs, and the like. I think, you know, for with the truff, I used it on pizza a fair amount. You know, just kind of a little bit here or there, kind of went a long way. That's one thing I'll say. I think that a little bit of this definitely goes a long way because again, it's got such punchy flavor. Um, yeah, again, you just kind of make sure you really kind of get in there with it. If I'm recommending it, that's the thing. It's kind of hard. Like I think it's a good sauce, but it's hard to say exactly where to use it. If nothing else, you know, this is a limited edition sauce. I would say give it a go. Like if you run into it, you know, and you're of the inclination, give it a shot because if nothing else, I don't think that it's a bad sauce. I think, you know, there's better sauces out there. Like I certainly like the truff sauce a lot more. Again, I just feel like that had more depth. But this is doing something somewhat similar. And I like kind of what it's doing. Again, sort of the savory hits, the almost mildly fruity hits, kind of spiciness a little bit here and there. Like I said, I like the dimension of it. Um, it really is just exactly where you use it. And the nice thing is, I would imagine most of you fine folks would be better at that than I would. So, because again, I'm just going to put on fries and burgers and shit. But I like it. Anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year. Folks, go with your yourselves a truly Aioli-tastic rest of your life. Sure, man, Aiolis are good. Yes. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do it all the time, I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, what I would like you to do, genuinely, if you run into this product, and again, if you're of the inclination, what have you, try it out and let me know what you think about it. Because usually I have a pretty defined kind of opinion on something. This is one where I'm a little bit more here or there. Like, I like it overall, but again, it's just like exactly how would I use it, what would be the best places, how to implement it and stuff. And it's interesting. It's got ideas going through my head, but again, mostly they just come back to just put it on a burger. It'll be good on a burger. So I'd be interested to see kind of how you would use it, and just what your opinion of it is. Do you think it's something that Heinz should keep around, or is it something that a one and done thing is best? Anyway,